Hello and welcome back to Romantic Renewal, the latest lesson in our course. And just a reminder, if you have not already, to click the subscribe and the bell to be notified of new lessons when they become available. And if you've already done that, thank you very much. So our lesson today is You're Both Learning. In the last lesson, we explored how family patterns, personal preferences, and how your brain functions can affect the way you communicate. So in this lesson, we'll lay another layer to the foundation regarding personal differences in communication. Being aware of personal differences can assist you in accepting others as they are and adapt how you interact with their style. So, Mahesh, what do people need to think about when getting to know you?
So, Sean, I'll just I'll just start with a considering the question in a different way. That how much do you want to know your partner? Like it comes from both the sides. So when you were first dating, you wanted to get to know each other. So and like a standard process is like you telephoned, you text, you dated, and then you talked and you listened and you learned. That is how basically this is the first process. Um, People communicate because they want to know something, even if it is what time to be ready for dinner. What do you know? What do you know, or what you do you want to know about your partner? So there are like a lots of things both the partners want to know from each other. So I'm just listing few things which are very common, like a hopes and dreams, of feelings, um, what's important, what makes you hurt or upset, what makes you laugh, um, what makes you feel good, what is most meaningful in life, and what they want from you. So, your desire to deeply know each other, as well as what time is dinner and when the next appointment is, will keep you talking to each other, like a knowing to each other. So, as long as you have the desire to know more about each other and to live a fulfilling life together, you would want to share your life through the words
Hmm,
because that is what communication is all about.
hmm.
So,
Yes, and it's important too in that process to give yourself time to learn.
yes.
So, the previous module where we talked about moving in together takes your relationship to a new level. So you don't have privacy and downtime from each other that you used to have. You don't have the space from each other that you once had. And in the very last lesson, we explored assumptions. So we each um, formed assumptions when we were dating. So be open to discovering that some of what you learned when dating may actually be different now. When dating, you have a tendency to be on your best behavior, and that can change when you're with each other more often. So, Mahesh, what changes might people need to consider?
Um, Sean, this is something like a number of things both the partners need to consider. Um, these changes. So I'll just start with number one. When living together, you don't have the energy to always be on your best behavior. So, and there are reasons. It takes time and energy to communicate well. So when you are tired, um, the tendency is to not try as hard as when you were dating, because that time you were trying to show your best. Number two is you become used to each other and are not as polite to each other. So it's 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 something very natural that you may begin to take each other for granted and not think that you need to continue, that niceties such as please and thank you or even I love you. Number three, um, you think the getting to know you, like each other, that mode is over. And you forget that you both are changing and there is always something to know about each other. So the only time there is nothing left to know is when somebody has passed away or died. So getting to know each other takes time and effort. So give yourself that time. Don't expect that your partner is going to know everything about your wants, needs, and desires, because those may change for each of you as you age, like as you grow. So when both of you want to know more about each other, talking on a deeper level becomes easier.
Hmm. Yes, talking, and the flip side of that, of course, is listening and the power of listening.
Yes.
And the only way you can learn more about someone is to listen. Listening means that your full attention is on your partner. You're not thinking about what you have to do next. You're not even thinking about what your response will be to what they're saying. The greatest sign of respect and the greatest motivator for someone to share is for you to listen. As you listen, they will talk. They will share their lives with you because you're demonstrating your desire to hear them with acceptance. So, is there an art to this, Mahesh?
Yes, Sean, definitely. Here in this communication, uh, they describe as there is a art of questioning. Like a questioning means like if you want to know from your partner. So asking questions demonstrates interest in someone. There is, however, a difference between asking questions and interrogating. Like you want to learn about your partner, but not put them on the spot. So there are some techniques, Sean. So you, one is give your full attention to your partner. So no looking at phone, like people always. Yes. So no looking at the phone or telephone or mail. And if you need to be doing something, such as putting a dinner on the table, look at your partner as much as possible. Like, so, basically we say that in a eye contact. If they seem reluctant to talk, then ask them if they would rather talk about this later. The next thing is that many people, when coming home from work, need time to decompress before they can interact meaningfully. So, one area to learn about each other are personal preferences about when is the best time to talk. The second aspect is ask open-ended questions. So these are the ones people are least likely to answer with one word. So open-ended questions invite a wide range of answers. So instead of did you have a good day, you might want to ask what were the highlights of your day. Like you want to listen in more detail. Number 3 is once you ask questions, give them your attention so they know you are listening. If they don't answer immediately, wait for a bit before trying to fill in the space. Some people take longer to answer than others. So check to be sure that they are not distracted. If they are, wait until they can give you their attention in the question or continue conversation.
Yes, I think people watching this today will probably want to go back and re-watch a few times to pick up all of these things, because it's probably one of the more, well, so far the most important one I think we've covered is this communication. We'll delve into a lot more because communication is a puzzle.
Yes.
We've talked about, ways to do things, and there are techniques and strategies to communication. As you said, there are good times and not so good times to attempt to gather information. So as people come to know each other, learn more about what techniques work best for you and when are the best times for you to have heart-to-heart talks. So in summary, we've been talking about people learning about each other, and you'll be learning about each other for the rest of your lives. Establishing a good foundation for communicating will assist during those times of change. Being open and attentive, as well as asking open-ended questions at times, conducive to sharing. They're excellent strategies no matter how you each change. And in our next lesson, we're going to discover more differences in the ways people communicate. But before you go on, remember, just go back, re-watch this lesson, because there's quite a lot to take in. Maybe make a few notes yourself and just reflect on that before you move on to the next lesson. So again, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next time.